Hello guys. I'm going to report chapter 5, which is internal scanning, organizational analysis. Here we go. A resource-based approach to organizational analysis. Scanning and analyzing the external environment for opportunities and threats is not enough to provide an organization competitive advantage. Analysts must also look within corporation itself to identify internal strategic factors. So what are these factors? These are the critical strengths and weaknesses that are likely to determine whether a firm will be able to take advantage of opportunities while avoiding threats. This internal scanning organizational analysis is concerned with identifying and developing an organization's resources and competencies. So when we talk about internal scanning, it is looking inside the business or company to identify strengths and weaknesses, and then assessing the business, resources, and management. So internal scanning, organizational analysis, means knowing your company's organization well, its people, its processes, how it does things, its the relationship, its build up over time to other people, other companies, to its consumers and suppliers. It is how the organization basically functions and operate. Like just knowing thyself as a company and then utilizing that information to make company as most as successful as possible. So it is stated here about the strategic factors, which are critical strengths and weaknesses. So these critical strengths and weaknesses then can be part of SWOT analysis. So we already talked about SWOT analysis. SWOT means strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So another way to look at this internal scanning organizational analysis, it is not to try immediately define strengths and weaknesses, but simply to look at the characteristic or simple fact of a certain business or companies. So the internal analysis is about knowing ourselves or knowing our business, knowing our companies. So let's proceed. Core and distinctive competencies. So before knowing core and distinctive competencies, we must learn first what are the needs to get or to have these core and distinctive competencies. So first, resources. Resources are an organization's assets and are thus the basic building blocks of organization. So when we are talking about resources, we are talking about the assets a company has. Their factories, their copyright, their employees, the basic element that make up a corporation. So resources can be tangible and intangible. So what is this tangible? Tangible such as equipment, finances, and location. In terms of the number of employees, their skills, and motivation. So intangible assets, what is this intangible assets? Intangible assets such as technology, patent and copyrights, culture and reputation. So when we talk about intangible assets, this is something that you cannot touch. Next, capabilities. So capabilities refer to a corporation's ability to exploit its resources. They consist of business processes and routines that manage the interaction among resources to turn inputs into outputs. When these capabilities are constantly being changed and reconfigured to make them more adaptive to an uncertain environment, they are called dynamic capabilities. So when we talk about capabilities, it refers to the company's ability to utilize its resources into something productive. So dynamic capabilities is the ability to modify, deepen, or reconfigure the company's existing resources and capabilities into response to changing environment or market opportunities. So, in addition, guys, resources are useless unless they are put into action. What are these action? This action is capabilities, because capabilities are the capacity to deploy resources. And now I am going to define what is core competency and distinctive competency. So first, I'm going to explain what is competency. So competency is a cross-functional integration and coordination of capabilities. So when we talk about competency, it is the capability to apply or use the set of related knowledge, skills, and abilities required to successfully perform critical work functions or tasks in a defined work setting. So competency is a measure of both proven skills and proven knowledge. So we have here two competency. The core competency. Core competency is a collection of competencies that crosses divisional boundaries. It is widespread within the corporation, and it is something that corporation can do exceedingly well. Thus, new product development is a core competency if it goes beyond one division. So, when we talk about core competency, it is something unique and important that a company can do strategically well. So, for example, Coca-Cola, it could be their secret formula for their syrup. Disney, it could be their Disney characters. For Apple, their user-centered designs and integrated software and hardware ecosystem. For BMW, it can be their active driving design philosophy. So that are those example of core competency. It is stated here when core competencies are superior to those of the competition, they are called distinctive competency. So what is distinctive competency? A distinctive competency is an organization's strengths or qualities including skills, technology, or resources that distinguish it from competitors to provide superior and unique customer value, and hopefully it is difficult to imitate. So this distinctive competency, it is going to give birth to competitive advantage. It means if you don't have this distinctive competency, you are not going to have any competitive advantage. So therefore, core competency can be distinctive competency. So medyo libo gid siya guys, no? Pero para mas masabtan nato siya, let's talk about their similarities and differences. So what are the similarity of core competency and distinctive competency? So idea rani guys ha. So the similarity of core competency and distinctive competency is to become better than others or to become better than their competitors. That is their similarity. The difference between core competency and distinctive competency, little difference. This is core competency is what you have, and distinctive competency is what you can do. So for example, Facebook and Instagram. So Facebook and Instagram have their own core competency. So to become more superior or to become top one entertaining app, Facebook and Instagram merge together, like they become partner. So they can create a great or superior competency to become competitive advantage to other rivals. So distinctive happens there when they work together as a team, as a partner, to have or to create their core competency to become competitive advantage to their competitors. as we go along to this topic, we will learn more about this core and distinctive competency. So let's now proceed. VRIO Framework or VRIO Framework. So VRIO Framework stands for V, value, R, rareness, I, immutability, O, organization. So VRIO Framework is like a strategic plan or business plan to gain a competitive advantage to your competitor. So let's talk about value. Value, does it provide customers value and competitive advantage? So can your customer appreciate your competitive advantage? Is there a value to the customer? Or can your customer appreciate your production and services and gain competitive advantage? That is value. Rareness, do no other competitors possess it? So let's have some example. So if you are great at making spaghetti and serving a great saucy spaghetti, how rare is that? Well, not so rare because we have Jollibee, McDonald's, and other fast food industry that serve a spaghetti. Maybe it could be a competency or core competency, but not that rare competency. So next, imitability. Is it costly for others to imitate? Or how hard to how hard is it to imitate? How easy for the competitors to imitate? That's imitability. Next, organization. So is the firm organized to exploit the resources? Does the organization have the ability to utilize core or distinctive competency? So guys, if the organization is not in the place to take advantage, for example, you have a great new product, a fantastic product, but your corporation can get the distribution of the products, then you're not gonna able to take advantage of that competency. Because if you have your resources but you are not you are in the wrong way, or you're not in the right place to get the distribution, then you cannot take that advantage of the competency. So next, using resources to gain competitive advantage. Proposing that a company's sustained competitive advantage is primarily determined by its resource endowment. So there are 5-step resource-based approach to strategy analysis. So what are those? First, identify and classify the firm's resources in terms of strengths and weaknesses. 2. Combine the firm's strengths into specific capabilities and core competencies. So, first of all, you have to understand what are your resources and be able to have list of your resources in terms of their strengths. Lump them together in certain specific capabilities or core competency. It could have a string of resources that together become a core competency. So that's it. Number 3, appraise the profit potential of these capabilities and competencies in terms of their potential for sustainable competitive advantage and the ability to harvest the profit resulting from their use. So, are there any distinctive competencies? Let's have some examples. Sample is a Oreo cookies. Oreo cookies had core competency. However, there was another cookie called Hydrox which actually original and Oreo was the copier year later. So they share the core competency of making this Oreo type of cookie. So there is a distinctive competencies. So to sustain their competitive advantage. That's it. So select the strategy that best exploit firms' capabilities and competency relative to external opportunities. So example, Hydrox and Oreo cookie. So Oreo cookie bought the competitive to have a good and number one cookie in the world, and to create a superior type of cookie that can sustain their competency to their rivals. So number 5, identify resource gaps and invest in upgrading weaknesses. So let's say you are a manufacturer and you realize that your factory and equipment is old and it is causing something that it might lead you to trouble or problem. So you really have to upgrade those equipment and gain more profit. So next, access to a distinctive competency. So there are 4 elements. These are asset endowment, acquired from someone else, shared with another business, build and accumulate within the company. So number 1, asset endowment. Asset endowment is an asset or key patent that is coming from the foundation or the beginning of the company. Basically, what the company was started on. So that is asset endowment. Acquired from someone else. So like for example, Disney World, they acquired Pixar on Marvels, something like that. So 3, share with another business. So this is finding a partner to take advantage of 2 companies working together, sort of an alliance, something like that. Partnership, being a team. So build and accumulate within the company. So you can extend your expertise in a certain area and build out from there. So that are the 4 elements of access in to a distinctive competency. So determining the sustainability of an advantage. So we have here durability. Durability is the rate at which firm underlying resources, capabilities, or core competency depreciate or become obsolete. New technology can make a company's core competency obsolete or irrelevant. So in durability, it really needs to judge how strong is this and how long can the company hold on to it. So next, immutability. Immutability is the rate at which a firm underlying resources, capabilities, or core competencies can be duplicated by others. To the extent that a firm's distinctive competency gives it competitive advantage in the marketplace, competitors will do what they can to learn and imitate that set of skills and capabilities. So immutability, how easy is it for someone to copy or imitate your core competency? Can be duplicate, and if it is can be duplicate, you know what are the legal protection and you know how hard is it to duplicate certain competency and more protected. So next, Transparency. So transparency is the speed with which other firms can understand the relationship of resources and capabilities supporting a successful firm strategy. So transparency is, for example, like a Gillette, which supported its dominance in the marketplace with razors and with excellent R&D, and the competitors could never really understand how the fuse and razors were produced simply by taking one apart. So Gillette's razors development was very difficult to copy. So next, transferability is the ability of competitor to gather the resources and capability necessary to support a competitive challenge. So transferability, it is how easy is it for competitors to get the same resources, capabilities to challenge your core competency. In some cases, something are not transferable because they are protected by law like copyrights and patent. So replicability is the ability of competitors to use duplicated resources and capabilities to imitate the other firm's success. So replicability, how easy is to replicate, so the ability of competitors to duplicate the resources and capability to imitate other firm's success. This is like something other company does successfully and imitate it. So let's proceed to business model. So you know all about what is business model. It's some sort of method or plan for making money in companies or a current business environment. It includes the key structural and operational characteristic of firm, how it earns revenue and make a profit. So a business model is usually composed of 5 elements. First, who it serves. Second, what it provides. Third, how it makes money. Fourth, how it differentiates and sustains competitive advantage. 5, how it provides its product and services. So that is basically all. This should be answered by a business plan. So there are different models that could be used. It could be customer solution model. So what is this customer solution model? This is sort of your company is going to provide expertise in helping other companies to do business. Someone that is providing more of the service to help a company or even consumers to do something. So for example, we have here, do you know about IBM, guys? So IBM is a international business machine corporation. So IBM used this model to make money not by selling IBM product but by selling its expertise to improve its customers' operations. So next, it could be profit pyramid model. So profit pyramid model, this is something you're looking to cover all the bases. You want to go in and cover all the niches to keep your customers in one family product. So you may start with a low-end entry point product. Maybe it's company that makes watches and they have sort of an entry point product which is expensive watch. And then as you grow with the company, they have the other brand names that are more and more expensive and they can move you up the pyramid. So guys, kabalo mo atong front row, murag pyramiding man pud siya, guys. So before ka aangat murag katong naa sa taas nimo kato sa aangat then hilain ka pataas like ana. Is it could be multi-component system or installed system. The big example of this is Xbox and PlayStation. So Xbox and PlayStation is then the company that make a lot of money on the actual hardware, which is Xbox and PlayStation, but they start making money when you start buying the software or download the video game. So that is the multi-component system installed model. So let's proceed. Advertising model. So advertising model is basically that you offer a base product for free and then you make money in advertising. For example, Facebook, Twitter, Google, daghan kayo ads ba, dito sila tig-gain og ilahang profits. Like you watching video in YouTube, di ba naman ay mo gawas ads. So kana nga ads dira sila tig-gain og profit. So next, it could be switchboard model. So this model is that where firm is into an intermediary and connects multiple sellers and buyers together, such as financial planners and selling financial products. It could be something like eBay or Amazon.com, where it links you the channel which you can buy a product from somebody. So ang example po dani guys is Shopee and Lazada kana. So next is efficiency model. So efficiency model is where a company wait until a product became a standard, then enter the market at lower price point and become more of a low margin seller. So kanang efficiency model. So next, blockbuster model. So the biggest example of this model is a video studio, where they rely on only few key movies to really drive the sales of the industry. So for example guys, mag palabas sila og Avengers, then next is Star Wars. So daghan kayo sila profit tungod sa ilang studio making or movie making, then blockbuster pa gyud, that hits a lot of people to watch this certain movie. So next, it could be profit multiplier model. So this is a develop a concept that may or may not make money on its own, but through synergy and spin-off could become more and very profitable. So for example ani guys kay kanang Star Wars movie. So Star Wars movie is more on adult viewers, so it is not that profitable. So they produce a Star Wars toys that focus on children's too, so that they can get more profitable. So that is profit multiplier model. So entrepreneurial model. So entrepreneurial model, this where companies specialize in the products of services. Its niche markets they very small segment of people, so that don't make a big blockbuster for everybody. They try to make a smaller, more successful product to a niche group. So that is entrepreneurial model. So next, and the last one is de facto industry standard model. So this type of model is offers a product for free or very low price point in order to saturate the market price and become the industry standard, and then Once people are locked in, they offer a higher margin product to the standard. So that is de facto industry standard model. So that's the end of my report. So thank you for watching the video, guys. I hope that you have learned something from my report, and that could be all. Thank you and goodbye.